Hello everyone, today in this video we'll be solving the question which is 3 sum under the topic arrays. So let's get started with it. So here what will be given is the array will be given to us. For example, this is the array here. So what we are supposed to find is 3 elements. You have to find how many elements? 3 elements. Okay, 3 elements whose sum is equal to 0. Okay, so can you guess 3 elements which sum is equal to 0? These are 3 elements. It need not be in the continuous order, it can be random elements as well. So these are the first 3 elements, and the next 3 elements are 2 minus 1 and minus 1, and yeah, that's basically it. The 2 elements are here. If we see another example here, so if it's empty array, it will be empty. If it's 0, it will be the empty array, because 3 elements should be there, right? So that's what we are checking here. So basically the question says, given an integer array nums, return all the triplets num I, j and k such that I is not equal to j and I is not equal to k and j is not equal to k, and nums of I and j plus k is equal to 0. So that's what we have to do in this question. Let's see what's the approach and how to solve this problem. Okay. So in the problem part, you will have the first array here, and that will be sorting. Okay, so here what are the elements? The elements are minus 1, 0, 1, 2, minus 1 and minus 4, right? So why it's necessary to sort? Because that will make our problem much more easier. Okay, that will understand while we solve the problem in the in the upcoming slides. So what's happening here is, when we sort the array, we'll get the array in this form. Okay, means it will start from minus 4, minus 1, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so we have the sorted array now. Let's see the code part and understand what is our approach. Okay, so this is the whole code part. If I take you through the code part. So here what's happening is, see, firstly we have the initialization part here. What is given to us is the nums array. Fine. And what is the things which are present here? Arrays.sort num. First we are sorting the array, that I already told you. Next what we have, the list of list integers. 2D list we are creating. Why we are creating 2D list? Because you have to store in this one what are the 3 elements. Okay, like for example 1 3 1, then 2 3 4, like that. We need to make this array. One array I'll store in this one, another again I'll store in this one, another array I'll store in this one. So this is nothing but 2D array, right? Because it's array of arrays. So that's why we are creating a 2D array result. Okay, and here we are running a for loop, and the for loop runs from 0 till num.length minus 2. Why minus 2? Because if you are considering 3 elements, maximum it can come till here. Then the second element and third element will be chosen if it's possible. Okay, so that's why we are running till n minus 2. If you run till n minus 1 or n, at that time what will happen is, it will run till here and there is no use because one element can't be taken, right? So we'll just run till n minus 2. So that's the for loop, and let's see from where the for loop is starting and where it is ending and what all for loop has. Okay, so this is the for loop where it's starting, and we have first is if condition. Okay, one if condition is there. After the if condition there is a while condition. Okay, so this is the while condition here. Okay, this is the while condition, and yeah, these all the things are inside the while condition only. Okay, so let's see what is the outer look of the for loop. In for loop we have one if condition, then a while condition. Two things are in for loop: if condition and what? While condition. Okay, now in while condition we have 3 cases: if, else if, else. 3 things: if, else if, else. Now if in the if condition, what we have? 2 while loops. Okay, so this is the overall structure. We will be going through each line one by one very slowly, so don't worry about that. Just understand this is the overall structure. Okay, now let's get started with the first line of code. We are sorting the array, done. Then we are initializing 2D array, done. We are starting with the for loop here. In for loop, i's value is 0 first, and I runs till this location, and I plus plus each time. Okay, first what we are checking here before the while loop, if I is 0, okay, let's just focus on this one. Is I 0? Yes, I is 0. So this will come true, and we'll be initializing these things here. What are these things? Low is equal to I plus 1. Okay, so what will be low? Low will be 1. High is equal to num.length minus 1. Whatever num.length is there, minus 1, that value will be stored in high. Means this is pointing to the second index, and this pointing to the last index. Last index, yeah, that's the last index. Okay, and sum is equal to 0 minus num I. Okay, so sum will be equal to 0 minus nums of I. So let's understand what's happening with this example. Okay, this sorted array here. So what was I? I was initially 0. What is low? Low is equal to I plus 1, which will be 1. High is equal to n minus 1. N is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5. Okay, and sum is 0 minus, what was sum? 0 minus num of I. Num of I is nothing but minus 4. What is 0 minus minus 4? It is 4. so sum will be equal to 4. Basically what we are trying to do is we are setting this value here as 0 minus minus 4, so it will be 4 here. Now we have to find two elements in the array whose sum will be equal to 4. Find two elements in the array whose sum will be equal to 4, so that if we add with minus 4 we will get as 0. That's basically what we are doing. If I show you a valid example, if I am finding two elements whose sum is okay, if I come to here 2, okay, 2 is there. If I am finding two elements whose sum is equal to minus 2, because 0 minus num of I will become minus 2, so two elements whose sum will be minus 2, I'll get these two elements. Now see, if you add these three elements, what sum we are getting? 0, right? That's why we are initializing these things here. Now we are setting this target sum here. This is the first target sum, I value wherever it is, that is the target sum, that is equal to 4. Now I'll be starting from here. This is low and this is high. This is the logic part. Okay, this is low, this is high. Now if I'll try to add both of these, when I add both of these, what answer I get? 1. Now what I should do to get sum 4? I should increase the high value because it's in the increasing order. If I want sum more than 1, I should increase this pointer to the next part, right? Because if I increase this one, it will actually if I increase this one, then also I'll get the answer, because it's in increasing order. So this value should be increased to the next value and check if I get the answer or not, right? So that's one possible answer. So actually that only we have to, high we have to always minus and see, low we have to always plus and see. The answer is less than 4. I need to increase my value, so low will be increased to this one. It will check it's the same thing. Again it will be increased, it will check it's the same thing. Means it will be not the same thing, it will be 3 then. Sorry, not 3, it will be 2, because 2 plus 0 is 2. And again it will come here and check 2 plus 1 is 3, still less. And when it becomes equal, at that time I will come out of the loop. Okay, so that will happen. That's what it will happen in the first iteration. Let me see. Let's go through the code part. Firstly, it will be initialized here. Everything will be initialized. After that, it will come to the while loop. In while loop, it will first check if low is less than high or not. Low is less than high, right? Because lowest value is 1 and high value is 5. So low is less than high. It will come inside the while loop. Inside the while loop, it will check if num of low plus num of high is equal to sum. What is num of low? What is num of high? Num of low is nothing but this one. This plus this. This is low and this is high. If both of these sum is equal to 4 or not. Is this sum 4? No, it's not 4. So if it's not 4, it will not perform the following. Okay, so if it's not 4, there are two cases. Either it is less than 4 or greater than 4. Now we are checking if the sum is less than 4. If it's less than 4, increase low. If it's less than 4, I should increase low. Low is pointing here, I should make it here to increase the sum, right? What sum I got? Because this is in the increasing elements. If I increase low from here to here, I might increase my sum also. So low will come to this part here. Else, in case if it was greater than sum, at that time I should decrease this one so that it comes to a lower element and the sum might come equal to 4. Okay, so that's what the two cases are here, low plus plus or high minus minus. Okay, so that's what we will do in the first iteration. What will happen after that, I will be incremented to 1 and low will become 2. Okay, low is 2 now and sum is still 4. Okay, this is what happened in the first iteration. So let me make here. So actually i's value will not increase now. It's still in the while loop, right? So I will be still 0. We are still in the while loop, right? Because while low is less than high, this should execute. Now again I will check num of low plus num of high is equal to sum. Is it equal to sum? Num of low means this one. Is this plus this equal to sum? No, it's not. So what it will do? It will do the same thing again. 2 will become 3. Then again it will check if it's equal to sum, means this plus this equal to sum. No, it's not. It's still less than sum. So what will happen? This will increase to 4. Same thing again, it will increase to 5. Still it's not equal to sum. When it increases to 5, what will happen? It will check low is less than high or not. Low and high will be pointing to the same location. So what will happen? While loop will break. While loop will break means it will come out of the while loop here. So when it comes out of the while loop, again it will come back here and it will increment the I value. Now I will become 1. Now i's value is 1 here. So for this one, we did not get any pair whose sum will be equal to 4. So this target sum is eliminated. Now we are checking, can we get minus 1 or not? So for that, what we are doing, we are setting I is equal to 1 here. Then 3 things we are setting. The 3 things which you are setting is, firstly, if I is equal to 0 or I is greater than 0 and num of I is not equal to num of I minus 1. I is greater than 0, yes, it's greater than 0, and num of I is not equal to num of I minus 1. Num of I is not equal to num of I minus 1. We are just checking if this target sum is not same as the previous one. If it's same, there is no point in checking, right? So that's why we are checking if it's same or not. If it's not same, then only we will consider this one, else we will increment I value directly. Okay, so it's not same, so we'll be considering this one. So in consider this one means we'll come in the if condition here. In the if condition, these things are there, three things: low is equal to I plus 1, high is equal to num dot length minus 1, sum is equal to 0 minus num of I. Okay, so basically the negative value of this will be stored in sum. Low will be equal to this one, I plus 1, so sorry, low will be here, and high will be as always, it will be last. Okay, so let's make the changes. I will be 1 only, I is 1, and sum is equal to minus of minus 1, which is plus 1, and low is equal to 2. Now we'll come to the while part here. In while loop, what's happening? Low is less than high, yeah, it's true, low is less than high, then we are checking this one. If num of 0 plus num of high is equal to sum, what is the sum? Sum is equal to 1, so this one plus this one, is it equal to sum? Minus 1 and plus 2, yes, in this case it's equal to sum, right? So what we are supposed to do, it's equal to sum means what will happen, will come inside this condition. Okay, will come inside this. Firstly, what we'll do, result dot add arrays as list num I, num low, and num high. Okay, so three things we are adding because we got the pair here. Okay, this one, and this one, sum of these you will get as 0. So when we get these three elements, minus 1, and 2, that will be adding in the result array. Okay, so let's add to the result array minus 1, and 2. Okay, so this is added to the result array. Now if it's added to the result array, what is the next step? The next step is we have to just check while low is less than high and nums of low is equal to nums of low plus 1, low plus plus. What does this mean is, while low is less than high, low is 2, high is 5, so we are just ignoring these two things. So low is 2, right, at this position, while this location and the next location both are same. If both the locations are same, you have to just skip this value, low plus plus. Since it's not same, we'll keep it as such. Then we'll be checking the same thing for the high also. So in high, if low is less than high and nums of high is equal to nums of high minus 1, nums of high is what? 2, nums of high minus 1 is 1. If these both are same, we would have decreased high to this point, but since they are not same, we'll keep high in this place only. Now that means that this is the two last unique elements, right? So we have to just increment low and decrement high so that we get two new elements, right, to check. So that's what we will do here, low plus plus, and this is actually high minus minus. Okay, so low plus plus and high minus minus, when we do, we'll reach this position, this one and this one. So let's make the change here. So low plus plus will become 3 here, and high minus minus will become 4 here. Now we'll do the same thing here. After that is done, since if was executed, else if and else will not get executed here, and we'll again come back here, and sorry, not here, we'll come back here, low is less than high, it's true. So we'll again check nums of low plus nums of high is equal to sum or not. Is it equal to sum? 0 plus 1, yeah, it's equal to sum. So in this case, what we have to do, we'll come again in this code here, add num I, num low, and num high. What is num I, num low, and num high? Num I is nothing but nums of 1, which is minus 1, num low is 0, num high is 1. So minus 1, 0, and 1 are the another next pair of elements. So let's add it, minus 1, 0, and 1. These two are added. After that, again we'll check, like while low is means different than this one and high is different than the previous one, and when it's true, we'll do the same thing, means we'll keep it as such. And again we'll what we'll do, low plus plus and high minus minus. Okay, so what I'm talking about is this one. While loop will be checked here, again low plus plus and high minus minus will happen. When it happens, what will happen is these two will be as 4 3. When it becomes 4 3 means it is over, means low is greater than high, it will come out of the while loop, right? So when it comes out of the while loop, it will directly go to it will come out of this outer while loop. So when it comes out of the outer while loop, that time what will happen, it will come back to this this position, I plus plus. So i's value will be incremented to 2. Okay, so I value will be incremented to 2. So now I value is 2, where it's pointing to, it's pointing to this location. Okay, and then what we'll check, when it's pointing to 2, if it's 0, no, it's not 0. I is greater than 0, yes, it's greater than 0. Num of I is not equal to num of I minus 1. Num of I is what? 2. Means num of 2 is this one, is not equal to this one. Since it's equal, at that time should skip this iteration. Just if I have to show you what happens, it will not come to this part if condition will not happen. This will not happen means what? This iteration is skipped. So again I plus plus will happen. Why we did that is because again we are getting the same sum 1 here, right? We got this same here, again we will get the same answer, so duplicates are not allowed, right? So that's why we are skipping which are the same sums. We just need the unique sums. So I will be incremented to 3. When I is 3, at that time we will get the sum as 0. So at that time again we will set the sum as 0 here. So here it will be 0, and again we will do the same things. Low will be I plus 1. So what is I plus 1? What is the value of I? 3 plus 1 4, and high will be n minus 1. Means 6 minus 1 5. So 4 and 5, low is here, high is here. We'll check if both these sum up to the sum. No, it don't sum up to the sum. At that time what we will do, we will see if it's less than the sum. Yes, means it's greater than sum. Greater than sum means high will become here. So when high comes here, at that time low will be low and high will be in the same position. So it will come out of the while loop. I's value will be incremented then. So when I's value is incremented, I will become 4 here. So when I is 4, low when I is 4, at that time what will happen? It will stop execution. Why? Because I's max limit was till 3 only, right? If you remember, I told you earlier, I's maximum limit is till num length minus 2. It means 6 minus 2, which is 4. Okay. I is less than 4 means it can come till 3 only, because 2 elements are needed, because we need 3 elements, right? If there is 1 element, 2 elements are more needed to be checked. If it comes here, there is no point, right? Because only 2 elements at max we can get, but we need 3 elements, right? So that's why it will end the loop, and finally we'll be returning this answer here which we got. So this is the answer which will be returning return result. Okay, so to quickly wrap up, what we are doing here is firstly we'll be given with an array. First step, sort it. After you have sorted, run a for loop till num length minus 2. At that time check if condition, and based on if condition only everything will work. What is the if condition? If I is 0 or the previous element is not equal to the current element wherever I is pointing. If it's 0, add it, consider it, else it should not be same. Means if I have done for this one, again I will not do I will not do for the same element. Okay, so just make sure that the target sum wherever I is pointing to, that is known as target sum, and target sum should be unique value. It should not have been calculated earlier. The same sum should not have been calculated earlier also. Okay, that's one thing. After I have checked that if it's true, at that time we will initialize low as I plus 1. If this is the target sum, low will be the next value and high will be the last value, and then you will keep on adding. Add up this. If it is greater, increment low. If it's lower, decrement high. Like that we will keep on adding. Wherever we get some, we will keep on adding, and when low crosses high, at that time, or low and high point to the same location, at that time we will break the while loop, then increment the next target. Okay, and also once we get the sum, what we will do, we will skip the next duplicate elements, right? If we got the sum from minus 1, again we will not check for minus 1. Okay, what I am talking about is this one here. If num of low is not equal to means equal to num of low plus 1, low plus plus, because we need not again check with this one minus 1. What I am trying to say is minus 1 and plus 1 I got as 0. Again I will not check, again I am getting minus 1 and 1 as 0 or not. Directly I should check with 0. I can get any other element which sum is 0 or not, right? That I will check. I will not check the same element with this element twice. So that's why I am skipping whichever element I have. If this is low and low plus 1 is same, then I will increment low here. Then I will check this is same, then I will increment. Okay, the same thing goes for the high also. If 2 elements I have 1 1, if I got the answer with this one, again I will not check with this one. I will skip this, then I will come to here and check from this one. Okay, so that's what we are doing in the while loop here. One for the low plus plus, high minus minus. Okay, so that is in the case we got the answer, and whenever we get the answer we will keep here. Else either we will increment high or decrement low, and when it crosses we will increment high, set the next sum, again we will do the low and high from this part. Okay, so we will do till num length minus 2. At that time whatever answers we get, we will finally return the result. Okay, so that's all what you have to do in this code, and if you did not understand any part of the code, you can always replay and watch and listen to the explanation again. So that's all for this video, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.